Back then, they were the kids cut from the team, the fathers carrying losing hearts, and a game that seemed already decided. But from the very place no one placed hope, Little Giants wrote a childhood miracle that made an entire generation burst with emotion. Now, after 32 years, how have those faces that once ran under the stadium lights changed? Number 1. Rick Moranis as Danny O'Shea. If Little Giants had the beating heart, it was Danny O'Shea in the warm presence of Rick Moranis. When the film was released in 1994, Moranis was 41 years old, at the peak of his career after a string of successful family comedy hits, and he stepped into the role of Danny carrying all the lovable clumsiness of a father who is always underestimated. In the film, Danny lives his entire life in the shadow of his brother Kevin, from childhood memories of having the decisive play stolen to the present when his daughter Becky is cut from the team just for being a girl. That very moment ignites Danny, leading him to form the Little Giants from abandoned kids, a boy afraid of contact, a slow overweight kid, and one who uses flatulence to defeat opponents. Throughout the film, Danny does not win with sophisticated tactics but with belief. He patiently gathers each child's insecurity into team spirit, from the first chaotic practice to the final trick play that makes the whole field explode. The role stands out because Danny represents everyone who has ever stood on the sidelines but still dares to rise and fight. After the film, Rick's real life took a major downturn. His wife, Ann Belsky, passed away in 1991 from cancer, leading him to gradually step away from Hollywood to raise his 2 children. It was the saddest but also most beautiful drama of his career. By 2026, Rick Moranis is 72 years old, living a private life, rarely appearing, and every time people look back at Danny O'Shea, they still remember the feeling that a hero is sometimes just a father who refuses to give up. Number 2. Ed O'Neill as Kevin O'Shea. Without needing to shout, Kevin O'Shea enters the film like an overwhelming pressure, and Ed O'Neill, at age 48, turned the character into a symbol of a winner used to standing at the top. From the beginning, Kevin returns to town with the aura of a former football star, carrying himself like a living legend admired by everyone. He builds the Cowboys as a perfect machine, choosing only the strongest, fastest, and most aggressive kids, and that favoritism unintentionally pushes Danny into opposition. Throughout the story, Kevin is the biggest wall the Little Giants must overcome, from his dismissive glad toward his brother's team, to militaristic practices, to the first half where the Cowboys crush opponents with physical power. But the strength of the role lies in the emotion behind the winning ego. Kevin is not truly bad. He is simply obsessed with always being the best, even with his own brother. At the end, when Danny brings up the childhood moment of the stolen play, Kevin finally confronts his own selfishness, and the moment he accepts the handshake after defeat becomes the character's true victory. After the film, Ed O'Neill continued to thrive in television, especially with Modern Family, nearly reinventing his career in middle age. His personal life has few major scandals. Most notable is his long-lasting, stable marriage in turbulent Hollywood. By 2026, he turns 80, still remembered as an icon of both sitcoms and family films. And Kevin O'Shea remains the face of an ego that must learn to make room for family. Number 3. Shawna Waldron as Becky Icebox O'Shea. Some characters do not just step onto the field, they step straight into the childhood memories of an entire generation, and Becky Icebox O'Shea is one of them. Shawna Waldron was only 12 when the film was released in 1994, but the energy she brought to Becky was sharper, tougher, and more explosive than many adult actors. Becky begins as the best player among the kids, but is cut from the team by her own Uncle Kevin simply because she is a girl. That wound creates one of the film's most beautiful emotional arcs. From a confident girl to someone standing on the sidelines, wearing a cheerleader outfit while her heart still longs for the field. Through each stage, Becky is both angry at her father because the Little Giants are weak and quietly follows their failures, until the second half of the final game becomes a cinematic moment. She runs onto the field in a cheerleader dress over football gear, breaking through the defense and igniting the team's spirit. The role stands out because Becky was ahead of her time, representing the breaking of gender stereotypes in 1990s family films. After the film, Shawna continued acting, notably in The American President, then gradually moved into producing and antique business. Her personal life is relatively peaceful, with no major scandals. The most memorable drama is the pressure of being a childhood feminist icon that audiences attach to Becky. By 2026, Shawna Waldron is 44, still remembered as the legendary Icebox, and every time people rewatch that final run, they feel their childhood running with her once again. Number 4. Devon Sawa as Junior Floyd. Some heroes enter the field not with muscles, but with the eyes of a boy who knows he was born to throw the winning pass. And Junior Floyd is that spirit. Devon Sawa was about 16 when Little Giants premiered in 1994. At the exact moment his teenage face became a symbol of 90s childhood. In the film, Junior appears as the most talented quarterback among the kids, carrying the expectations of his mother, Patty, and Danny's dream of victory. From the first practices, Junior is the only one who can turn a chaotic team into something resembling strategy, consistently making passes that bring Becky back to belief and help Jake become more than comic relief. The strength of the character lies in psychological pressure. Junior is not just playing to win, he must learn to trust teammates no one chose. The climax comes in the final game, when every pass is no longer just technique, but belief passed through the entire team, especially in the legendary trick play that brings the Little Giants to the impossible. After the film, Devon rose to fame with Casper and Final Destination, then experienced a slowdown due to being typecast as a teen heartthrob. He admitted trying to take on edgier roles to break that image. No career-destroying scandals, but his biggest drama was escaping early fame. By 2026, Devon Sawa is 47, still active and considered a strong career comeback story in Hollywood. Junior Floyd therefore lives on as the boy who threw our childhood across the evening sky. Number 5. Todd Bosley as Jake Berman. If Little Giants needed a spark of humor to keep the audience's heart beating, Jake Berman was that irreplaceable light, and Todd Bosley at around 10 years old made this small role unforgettable. Jake is not the strongest player nor the most skilled, but he best represents the abandoned kid spirit the film wants to tell. From the moment he joins, Jake brings mischievous energy, teasing, sometimes disrupting practice with childish reactions, but that makes the team feel real and relatable. As Danny tries to turn awkward kids into a team, Jake shows the clearest transformation, from a jokester into someone who fights for teammates. In the second half, every block and cover run shows his growth within the game. The role stands out because Jake prevents the film from becoming overly tragic. Amid pressure, he keeps the story fun and true to childhood. After the film, Todd Bosley appeared in major series like Scrubs and House, maintaining a steady career without scandals. His most interesting drama is the cast reunion years later signing memorabilia for charity, sparking nostalgia among fans. By 2026, Todd Bosley is 42, living privately, and Jake Berman remains a symbol of imperfect kids who make the team more lovable than ever. Number 6. Sam Horrigan as Spike Hammersmith. From his very first appearance, Spike Hammersmith feels like a field monster in the eyes of the kids, and Sam Horrigan, around 13 at the time, made this young rival a perfect nightmare for the Little Giants. Spike is the Cowboys' strongest weapon, big, aggressive, charging into every tackle as if to crush all resistance. In the film's structure, Spike is not just a powerful player, but a symbol of fear, the very thing Danny must help his team overcome. In early practices, just hearing Spike's name makes some kids hesitate. By mid-film, he constantly pressures Junior with brutal tackles, tilting the game entirely toward the Cowboys. But toward the end, Spike becomes a mirror of the Little Giants' growth. They no longer fear his strengths, learning instead to counter it with speed, strategy, and belief. That is why Spike stands out not through dialogue, but as the mountain the underdogs must climb. After the film, Sam Horrigan continued with rebellious athletic roles in Brink and other teen series. His personal life has no major scandals. The most memorable drama is how many 90s viewers mistakenly disliked Sam in real life because Spike was so convincingly unlikable on screen. By 2026, Sam Horrigan is 44, still active in entertainment. And every time Spike charges across the old field, audiences relive the tension of childhood battles that never fade. Number 7. Mike Zwiener as Rudy Gasman Zolteck. Some characters only need a few seconds to live forever in memory, and Rudy Gasman Zolteck is that kind of comedic legend. Mike Zwiener was still a child actor when Little Giants was released in 1994, and although real-life biographical information about him is extremely scarce on Wikipedia and public records, Rudy remains one of the most memorable pieces of the abandoned team. In the film, Rudy starts as an awkward boy, not notable for speed or strength, but bringing the most unusual weapon, innocent charm, and explosive comedic moments, especially tied to his nickname Gasman. Throughout the games, Rudy perfectly embodies the film's message. Even someone who seems to have no talent can still become part of victory. His biggest moment comes in the annexation of Puerto Rico, when he participates in the decisive play, turning laughter into a real winning link. That touch of the ball makes the small role immortal in fans' hearts. After the film, Mike Zwiener largely stepped away from the spotlight, with no scandals or media drama, and that disappearance itself became a nostalgic mystery. Where is the boy Gasman now? As of 2020, 2026. His exact age cannot be confirmed 100% from public Wikipedia sources and should not be inaccurately assumed. The only certainty is that whenever Little Giants is mentioned, Rudy is still the first burst of laughter, like an echo of silly yet warm childhood that made that victory not only glorious, but also incredibly adorable. Number 8. Joey Simmrin as Sean Murphy. Among a team full of eccentric names, Sean Murphy seems like the most ordinary face, yet that very ordinariness creates the most authentic underdog spirit of Little Giants. Joey Simmrin was born in 1981, so he was about 13 when the film was released in 1994. The perfect age to bring real nervous energy into every play. Sean is not a strategic center like Junior or an icon like Becky, but he appears consistently as a member present in every effort Danny leads. From the first running drill, Sean represents the familiar image of kids chosen last, slightly slow, slightly clumsy, but never giving up. Characters like Sean keep the film grounded, because an underdog team cannot be built only on star moments, but also on those who quietly block, hold their ground, fall and rise again. As the final game becomes intense, Sean represents a team that has grown together, where no one is unnecessary anymore. After the film, Joey Simmrin appeared in several 90s films and TV series before gradually stepping away from the spotlight. His most notable drama is not Scandal, but a quiet disappearance similar to many child actors of that era, remembered by audiences, yet living a silent adult life outside Hollywood. By 2026, Joey Simmrin is 45. And though no longer in the entertainment spotlight, Sean Murphy lives on as the embodiment of those unnoticed kids who form the foundation of miracles. Perhaps it is people like Sean who make the final victory of Little Giants feel so believable and emotional. Number 9. Marcus Toji as Marcus the Toe. Some victories are written by a quarterback's hands, but sometimes history lies in the tip of a boy's shoe. And Marcus the Toe is exactly that moment. Marcus Toji was born in 1984, so he was about 10 when Little Giants was released in 1994, carrying the sharpness of a true secret weapon. In the film, Marcus does not appear loudly, but whenever the team needs a decisive kick, he becomes the center of attention. The nickname the Toe makes him feel like a legend from childhood playground stories, where one precise kick can change everything. Throughout the story, Marcus represents seemingly small moments that determine the team's fate. Maintaining score, applying pressure, sustaining hope while the Cowboys dominate. The role stands out because it shows that in a weak team, every unique skill has value. After the film, Marcus Toji followed an interesting path. Instead of disappearing like many child actors, he continued acting and found particular success in voice acting. Appearing in many animated films and TV series, his biggest drama is not Scandal but a quiet, steady journey from a child kicker to a respected voice actor. By 2026, Marcus Toji is about 41 or 42 years old, as full birth details are not publicly confirmed on Wikipedia. And whenever people revisit Little Giants, they still remember the toe as the symbol of a beautiful childhood truth. Sometimes a hero does not need to run the farthest, just make the right move at the right time. Number 10. Susanna Thompson as Patty Floyd. Amid helmet collisions and intense tackles, Patty Floyd is the soft, emotional rhythm that makes Little Giants not just a sports film, but a nostalgic family story. Susanna Thompson was born in 1958, so she was 36 when the film was released in 1994, bringing a gentle yet deep presence that connects Danny's past and present. Patty appears as Junior's mother, but her role is much greater. She is the memory Danny never forgot, the motivation that pushes him to prove himself not only to his brother, but also to the woman he once lost. Throughout the film, Patty stands on the sidelines watching Junior grow, while also carrying the adult emotional storyline amid the children's field battle. As Danny transforms the chaotic team into a true family, Patty is the one who recognizes the leadership Kevin had overshadowed in him. At the end, when they reconnect after the victory, this emotional arc makes the ending warmer and more complete. After the film, Susanna Thompson built a steady television career with Star Trek, Once and Again, Arrow, and many other major series. Her real-life story is private, with no major scandals, something rare in Hollywood. By 2026, Susanna Thompson is 68 and is remembered as an actress who brings emotional depth to every supporting role. Patty Floyd therefore remains the gentle echo after the final whistle, reminding us that sometimes the greatest victory is not on the scoreboard, but in second chances for hearts that once missed each other. From kids picked last to an unbelievable victory, Little Giants turned the field into an immortal memory. 32 years have passed, the cast has changed with time, but the emotional explosion of that final moment still lives on in the hearts of viewers.